Well, hello and welcome to the Informed Traveler Podcast, a weekly travel podcast where our goal is to help you become a more informed traveler. And I'm your host, Randy Sharman. Just want to make a special note before we begin. As noted on our social media pages, last week's episode, if you didn't know, was our 100th podcast episode. And along with that came a note from FeedSpot informing us that the Informed Traveler Podcast is number 24 of the top 100 podcasts in the world. So I just want to pass along a huge thank you for tuning in each week. I can't thank you enough because you're what makes this podcast. Everyone that tunes in each week. And so thank you. Thank you, and thank you again. So on this week's podcast, travel expert Onanta Forbes will join me in a few seconds to talk about travel blunders, what they are, and how to possibly avoid them. Plus, the Montreal Lumiere Festival takes place from February 27th to March 9th. It's an annual festival that involves food and music and all kinds of fun activities. So later in the podcast, we'll get some insight on the Montreal Lumiere Festival. And Ken Stewart from Crowfoot Travel Solutions will be along with a few destination ideas and travel deals with our weekly roundup. But first, let's kick things off chatting with travel expert Onanta Forbes, who joins us each week to discuss some of the travel news and travel trends. You can follow her adventures on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. Hi, Onanta.
Hello, Randy. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. We're going to talk about this survey. This is quite a name for a survey. Fall 2024 Global Rescue Traveler Sentiment and Safety Survey about travel blunders. I'm sure we've all committed one or two of these or maybe more blunders. But let's run through what's the biggest blunder people do when they're traveling?
It's my top one. It's overpacking for a trip because I think I need to be prepared for every single situation that may come up. That never usually does.
I think everyone is guilty of that, even myself. But yeah, you always kind of think, oh, I'm going to need this, I'm going to need that. And then you don't.
No, that's right. And you kind of end up wearing the same thing over and over because it's comfortable. It's, it feels nice and loose if you're in a hot tropical environment.
Yeah,
So
as long as it doesn't start to smell, it's okay.
That's right. And, overpacking, it's not just hauling all this stuff with you. It can potentially lead to excess baggage fees because, especially during the holiday season, airlines are pretty focused on how much your bag weighs, difficulty navigating airports, and then just the frustration while traveling. And so packing light helps avoid these challenges. And they always say, if you can take a carry-on, do. That's a good one, but I don't think I could unless it's like a couple of days, right? Like for a week, you do need some daily, packing items. So, but packing light does help you avoid some of these hassles and streamlines your journeys for sure.
Well, and the other thing I will say too is leave space in your luggage because you're going to buy stuff where you are. So you need to find space in your luggage so you can take it back.
Right. And
not be charged the baggage fees and all the other things.
Right. And like we talked about last week, you don't depend on your carry-on anymore because that's going to cost you as well.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So what was number 2?
Flying with connections instead of nonstop. And actually that traveler error hadn't made the list until this year. And I always, promote to our guests, our travelers, to try and go as nonstop as possible. Because if you go via connections, it results in longer travel times, potentially missing flights due to delays, especially when you're going through winter where there could be storms. And layovers are can tend to be exhausting and introduce more chance to lose your luggage or just other complications compared to just the convenience of direct flights. We're lucky. Calgary's a great gateway for WestJet. Calgary's their hub, so they offer a lot of nonstop flights that you can enjoy and take advantage of.
I will say this, sometimes you can't avoid it
Mm-hmm.
because it depends on where you live, right? You have to
Mm-hmm.
do a connection somewhere. But I've got the mindset now that if you are going to make a connection, then just make it. You know it's going to take you a day to get where you're going, so don't be in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
Leave yourself plenty of time for your connection, and then go have lunch or dinner or whatever, even breakfast, depending on the time of day,
Right.
and enjoy the layover. Take your time, maybe I don't know, read a book, something, whatever you want to do, and just have the mindset that this is going to take all day, so just relax and enjoy it.
That's right. That's a very good point. And that's part of planning your itinerary in general, because that was one of the top three lists of most common mistakes for travelers is that they maybe plan out too ambitious itinerary when they go to their destination.
Hmm.
So, you're not going to be able to see everything or immerse yourself into everything. So, pick and choose what you really want to do on your vacation, what you want to see, and then you won't be exhausted and potentially missing out on experiences that you want.
Hmm.
So planning does have its merits. Always work with a good travel advisor who can help you, pick out and lay out your itinerary accordingly and enjoy the experience instead of thinking you have to do every single thing, multiple things a day or during your week or your time away.
Yeah, you don't want to come back exhausted from your your vacation, right? So
Right.
what are some of the other blunders that were mentioned?
So they say that, focus, people focus on saving money while forgetting that their time is equally valuable and a limited resource. So it's worth paying for like a museum admission rather than, going on a free day and suffering
Hmm.
through the slow lines or the crowds. So think about that as well. And, when you're researching your trip, make sure that you're traveling with current information, not something that's outdated like a guidebook or online. A lot of people look online, um, to say maybe something has changed due to COVID's changed a lot of things. So maybe that place or that attraction you want to go to has limited hours of operation or just may not be in operation at all. Um,
Yes,
so
true.
keep so make sure you travel with information that's up to date. And don't be afraid to get lost, like wander the back streets or away from the main tourist area. So like Old Times Square and beautiful cities in Europe, maybe a mopsy, but maybe 6 blocks away you'll find fewer crowds and interesting eateries.
Hmm.
And also sometimes in travel, you make mistakes or something happens. It's just best to get over it and just have fun with the process and continue on your trip. Don't let the mistakes ruin your trip. It's just part of
Hmm.
travel at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's always good to be aware of also like scammers and thieves in when you're at a destination and such. So be cautious, be alert, watch for thieves. Always think about if you're in a crowded area or at a bus depot or a train, store your passport, credit cards, and cash securely in a money belt or
Hmm.
at different parts of your body or, in your, if you have a bag or a backpack and such. And then also, and this was actually part of the survey that we originally were talking about this morning or today was a lot of people have enrolled in a trusted traveler program like Nexus or TSA PreCheck, and it does help you get through lines faster, like as far as customs is concerned and
Hmm.
security procedures. And I actually have Nexus and I recommend it. And also like with airlines such as WestJet, they offer TSA PreCheck in different locations and do it because you can go to a quicker line than having to be with the masses and trying to get security.
Well, and that seems to me that's always the unknown factor when you're traveling is you never know how long that security line is going to be. So if you
Right.
do have a Nexus or a TSA pre-check, that really lessens the burden, I think.
Absolutely.
I wanted to get back to your point about time. Time is money, and time is valuable. And uh, I always look at when people are looking at hotel locations and price, and sometimes a cheaper hotel is further away from wherever you want to be. But when you factor in how long it's going to take you to get to where you want to be, say, I don't know, downtown, or you want to see a specific museum or a show or something. If it's going to take you an hour or an hour and a half, and it's going to cost you $100 cab ride or a Uber ride or something, is it really worth spending less on the hotel when you can get a closer hotel for more money, but it's way more convenient?
Oh, absolutely. Because yeah, it relates into time of, getting to that place, but it also relates into time into factoring out, thinking about how you have to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, exactly. It may not be that easy.
Yeah, that's it exactly. And you don't want to be confused or make things complicated. Um, Research and information is always good in planning for your trip. But so yeah, good point. Got to figure
and
out.
and updated information, like you said, not a
Absolutely.
2001 handbook or something.
That's right. Yeah.
Onanta Forbes is a travel expert. You can follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. Always great to chat with good tips, Onanta. Thank you.
Thank you. Be well.
Well, the Montreal En Lumiere Festival takes place from February 27th to March 9th of next year. It's an annual festival that involves food and music and all kinds of fun activities. So joining us now to offer some insight on the Montreal En Lumiere Festival is Morin Oxemery. He's Senior Director, Booking, Cultural Events, and Spectra Festivals. The website is montrealenlumiere.com. Bonjour, Morin.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm struggling to get through my French here, trying to pronounce Montreal en Lumiere correctly. But tell me about Montreal en Lumiere, what it is, how long it's been going. Give me some background to start.
All right. So Montréal en Lumière is like a urban winter festival that happens every year downtown Montreal. It's been here for more than 25 years. We just celebrated the first quarter of a century of existence last February. So yeah, we're getting ready for a new edition. It's all about enjoying the winter outdoors, listening to music, dancing, and it's about food as well because we're inviting like more than 50 incredible chefs to come to Montreal and meet with other chefs from Montreal, and so it's like a big foodie, a big food event. And yeah, so that's about Montréal en Lumière. We build like a giant ice rink downtown Montreal on a place called Place des Festivals. So it's one of the most incredible suspended ice rink.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty beautiful. People love it. They just go and enjoy. Last winter we had like a pretty warm winter, and we were the only ice rink open in Montreal at the moment. So it's that was funny. So that's Montréal en Lumière.
Well, I am looking on the website, montrealenlumiere.com, and basically breaks it down to gastronomy, shows, outdoor sites, Nuit Blanche, which I'm going to ask you about, and school break. But there's indoor parts to this and outdoor parts of it, right?
Exactly. So indoors we have a musical programming. We have some international artists coming, and we have like a nice selection of local talents. that are very big here in Quebec, like Elie Volbeck, like Soldia, who's like the king of Quebec rap. Pierre Lapointe, who's an amazing singer from Quebec. Milk and Bone, Jonathan Roy, Rita Baga, Flore Laurentienne, which is a band that I love. He's like a piano player. They're doing like post-classical music, very, very interesting. And yeah, all those shows are, around our site on Quartier des Spectacles. So that's the entertainment district in Montreal. And you can just, enjoy checking a show indoors and go outside and enjoy the site after. Go skate and, have some food and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we should say when the dates are. It's February 27th to March the 9th. So it does run for quite a number of days. So if someone is visiting Montreal for a few days, they could take it in, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's over 2 weekends. The gastronomy activities start the week before, so it's longer. And so, yeah, it's more than 2 weeks of activities between shows and the outdoor site and gastronomy.
So what's the best way to enjoy Montreal en Lumiere? If I'm visiting for a few days, and I imagine if I'm staying in the heart of downtown Montreal, I could just walk to enjoy most of the events. Could I not?
Yeah, so the magic of it is the outdoor site is free. So you just, show up over there
Mm-hmm.
and you can enjoy the ice rink if you have your skates. On site, we have a DJ booth where the music is, beating. We have this year we're building for many years we invited chefs from all over the world. And when I'm talking about chefs, it's like Michelin stars, kind of chefs. And they were always working and in those restaurants, and a restaurant there's capacity that is limited, and it's we're talking about big chefs. The price has always been pretty expensive, and that's the experience. But this year we decided to invite those chefs visiting us to participate to the outdoors site. So we have a place called Village Gourmand. So it's basically a tent where those chefs are going to give master classes, do some, they're going to be cooking in front of people. We'll have food in there. You'll be able to talk to them. So it's going to, the gastronomy will be deployed on the site as well. And as it's deployed on the site, it's going to be free as any other outdoors activities. So that's
nice.
the cool part of the festival this year. Something that we're trying.
Tell me about Nuit Blanche.
Nuit Blanche. Nuit Blanche is something special, very, very special. It's probably the most crowded night in Montreal in the year. And it's something very special because, it's either at the very end of February or beginning of March. This year it's going to be March 1st, on a Saturday. It's a night where everything is free and people are opening their studios, and the museums are opening their doors, and it's, cultural activities throughout the city. And all those people can, just go and enjoy what's best in Montreal in terms of, any cultural things, art, music, and everything. And it's very special because, Montrealers are participating to that special night year after year, and it's incredible. When you see downtown Montreal that night, it's incredible.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking again at some of the images on your website, montrealenlumiere.com, and it describes Nuit Blanche as art, poetry, dance, games, cinema, all kinds of things. But there's a theme to it this year, and it's pop. So the word pop, like pop music, pop art, pop culture, anything to do with pop, maybe popcorn, I don't know.
pop, yeah, we're gonna be popping everywhere, and it's a very exciting night. And as I told you, I think for me, it's probably the best night in Montreal. And it's
Mm-hmm.
cold outside, and it's so funny to see all those people with their big, big jackets, and they just, they're just participating and they're just enjoying being outdoors and being in Nuit Blanche. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Well,
incredible.
yeah, I think it'd be easy just to get caught up in the atmosphere and you just forget all about the cold and
Yeah.
just enjoy yourself. So it sounds to me though like there's so much going on that you really kind of have to plan. If you only got a couple of days and you're visiting or something to that effect, or you have a limited budget, you wanna spend your dollars wisely and you want to see the things that you want to see. So it sounds like you need a little bit of planning, right?
Yeah, and you can, yeah, of course, you need the planning. You can go on the website and check, all the activities that you would be interested in. Either it's a show, either it's like going to a restaurant, but it's pretty easy. Come downtown and you'll be enjoying the music and everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
that's
And
that.
I like the part that a lot of it is free, like the outdoor events. Most of it is free, and you can enjoy that. And what's your favorite part of it? I assume that you've probably been there every year.
My favorite part of it is those. I'm a foodie. I love cooking. And whenever I go, and I don't go to every night to a different restaurant, but I have the honor and the chance to be able to go to a couple every year, and it's always like a very interesting and rich experience that you're having with two chefs, uh, meeting maybe for the first time and cooking
Mm-hmm.
together and sharing ideas, and there's always like amazing results in the plate. So this is very exciting. And yeah, it's all those chefs that you don't happen to see, or you don't eat their foods very often, because they're coming from France, from the US, from Mexico, from Hong
Mm-hmm.
Kong. So it's far. So, having that night where you go to the restaurant and then you go to see a show, and just before that you're with the family, you go skate and dance. It's a whole thing.
Well,
It's
that sounds like
going.
a perfect itinerary right there. Go to
I think
one of the
everything
one of
everything
the foodie events, one of the entertainment events, and get outside and enjoy some of the outdoor things as well.
everything is in the itinerary, I think.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun and a great way to enjoy Montreal in the winter. Again, it's Montreal en Lumiere, runs February 27th to March the 9th. Morin Oxymery is the Senior Director booking cultural events and Spectra festivals with Montreal en Lumiere. Again, the website where you can plan everything, that's the best way to go, is montrealenlumiere.com. Great chatting with you, Morin. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much, and come to see us. We'll have fun.
This is the Informed Traveler Podcast. I'm Randy Sharman. Just want to remind you of our website, theinformedtraveler.org. That's where you can find our contact page if you have any questions or comments about the podcast. You could also email me with any questions you might have. My email address is randy@theinformedtraveler.org, or send us some show ideas. And if you want to get up-to-date travel through the week or just see a few amusing travel stories and links, you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/informedtraveler, on Instagram at Informed Traveler, or on X at Informed Traveler. So now, as always, we'd like to end the show with our weekly roundup, and joining us to do that is Ken Stewart from Crowfoot Travel Solutions. Good day, sir.
Hello, Randy. Hello, everyone. Starting to feel a lot like Christmas. Tons of songs on the radio. We're starting to slow down a little bit because a lot of people have already booked or have plans for the next few weeks, or are even away already. So, again, it's that time of year.
It is
Snuck up
that
on
time
it.
of year, yeah. And then once it's kind of creeps up, and then it's all over, and then it's New Year's, and then it's time to look forward to spring. That's the way I look
Exactly.
at it.
Look
And
forward to
book your
spring.
2025 vacation or 2026
Exactly. Or 2027, as we
or
mentioned last week.
2027. Exactly.
Last minute Christmas gift. Need to find something? Consider a travel gift certificate. Good for any booking with our office, and it never expires until it's completely used, and it can be as little as $10 to $100 to $1,000 to whatever you like. And again, like I say, they don't expire. We've had some clients that use them as soon as they get them, kind of thing, within a month or so. And we've got some clients that it's taken several years for them to use it up, just because they don't travel a lot when they're. Again, these ones were seniors or whatever, and it was a gift from the kids or whatever. But it's great because then they're able to use it to book flights to go out and visit the kids every year.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Use it for whatever you want. That's the flexibility of it. That's what I like.
Exactly. It's that time of year when more and more of us are doing the beach vacations and we're flying to other destinations to visit family or for a trip. So again, whether you're traveling now or not, go check those passports and your other important information and documents that you might need to use to travel. Make sure they're all valid. I know my wife, I always remind her about her PR card because she's a U.S. citizen, and often your passport may need to be valid for a minimum of 6 months after your travel date, and that's the end of your trip, not the start of your trip. For a lot of countries and destinations, as well, a lot of countries require proof of medical insurance to enter that country. The U.S. is one, which surprised me because they never ask for it, but they're one. Cuba's another one for sure. They always ask you if you're going down to Cuba, you have to have proof of medical insurance to get into the country. Recently, we had a client who's doing a river cruise next year, and again, although it's 10 months out, he went on to register himself and everything, and found out that he couldn't because his passport's going to expire before the end of his trip by a few days. So, for Cancun, there always been the visa tax in place since 2022. And it was one of those things that were never really, enforced or checked or anything like that or whatever. But we actually had the tourism board from Quintana Roo in the town visiting. And he was saying that the new president is starting programs now to make sure it is checks for tourists arriving. You're required to have a QR code upon your arrival in Cancun. There's two great options for paying it. You can get your QR code online and pay for it. And both of these are secure sites, and we can send them out to you if you want to reach out to us. But one is the actual Mexican government site, and be careful because there are some scammers out there. Make sure you're on the actual Mexican government site. And the easiest one is Travel Core. It's a Canadian company, and they're legit, and they've been authorized to collect the payments and give you your QR codes from that. And what they're saying is, again, and I've had a couple of clients that travel recently and say, well, we didn't pay it. And I said, well, there is a good chance that your passports can be flagged next time you go to Cancun. If you didn't do it, you may even be charged for this visit that you just did before they allow you back into the country. So
and
it helps for tourism. It helps for their infrastructure, for the airports and all that kind of stuff. So again, it's not huge. I think it's about 18 US, so 23, 24 Canadian. Let's do it.
Just to be clear, it's just for the state of Quintana Roo.
Correct,
which,
in Mexico.
Cancun,
right. They're the only one. Puerto Vallarta, which is cool, Ixtapa, all our other destinations don't require anything, but Quintana Roo does.
Yeah.
And talking about those kinds of things as well, a lot of the other popular destinations like Jamaica, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, all have their own, again, online immigration requirements. These ones are all free, but you do have to do them online before you arrive into the country. We supply those links to our clients, our system, and doing them prior to the trip. And even if you didn't book with us, so if you want a little bit of help, give us a quick call. We'll gladly help you out with that and point you in the right direction. Make sure you're getting the right link.
Perfect.
As well, too, when we're talking about these, again, this kind of an information period. Many international countries have got visa or ETA requirements to enter, so please make sure that you're checking those wherever you need to travel and stay. One example is if you booked your own or have a flight tour through, even if you're just transiting through the UK, you'll be traveling after January the 8th. You now have to have an ETA, electronic travel authorization, to enter, or even if you're transferring, you're flying into London and then going onwards or whatever. Those applications open up back on November the 27th for Canadians. So. And again, Australia, New Zealand, lots of countries have those. So make sure you're checking and find out where you're going to go and if there's anything you need to get in or through that country.
This is where a knowledgeable travel advisor would come in to help you with all those documents and things.
Yes, we're going to send you the links and remind you to make sure that you got them and everything like that. So well worth the conversation. Golf season, now indoor for hitting into the greens, but we got packages we can build you. Maybe you want to fly over to the UK, great courses in Scotland and Wales. Maybe you're going to do a long stay in Portugal or over in Thailand, great weather over there, great golf prices for the winter season. Keep your game up. We've got a Portugal golf package, 21 days, 1-bedroom apartment, a car rental, unlimited golf at 5 courses, all from only 35.10 Canadian a person. So again, a great price for 21 days, including all your
Unlimited golf for 5
unlimited
courses.
golf, and you got 5 courses. Yep.
Wow,
So
I'm not a huge golf person, but yeah, you could go back and try and find all those golf balls you lost or something.
Exactly. Yeah, make sure you take a few extra with you. At least that would be my comment to myself.
That's incredible, though. 21 days in an apartment and a car rental.
Yep.
And unlimited golf for 3,500 Canadian per person.
Yep. Away from the winter, away from the snow.
That's priceless.
Exactly. And if you're a real golf enthusiast, we usually get opportunities to help you book. One would be like the Phoenix Open, which is really, really popular in 2025, and the Ryder Cup. Another big international event held in 2025 in Long Island, New York. And that one's a great one because, again, we always say if you're going somewhere, let's try and tie in some extras. So a few days stay in New York City and then maybe do a cruise out of New York before or after. Yeah,
why not?
Talking about cruises, we got the all-inclusive luxury voyages of all the Paul Gauguin ships, small ship experience in the islands, Tahiti, private balconies, unique itineraries, all kinds of ports of calls. Cruise packages include your round-trip flights from L.A., gourmet dining and room service, beverages, Wi-Fi, day on the private island, private beach step on Bora Bora, use of all the water sports, snorkeling, diving. So pretty much an all-inclusive event right when you get on board. And all of this done right from the back of the ship for the water sports. So book before January 3rd, and you can save up to $2,900 per guest.
Whoa.
So you too can experience your overwater bungalow in Tahiti that sails along.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm game. I'd love to go. Talking about those long stay getaways, we've got all kinds of partners that we work with and got all kinds of great examples. We mentioned a golf one. Here's another one from friends over Exotic. Again, Portugal, which is one of the more popular destinations. 3 weeks with or without airfare. You can include it from Vancouver. So we got easy add-ons from Calgary to make those work. Booked by December 24th, and it's only $32.79 Canadian with 1 pre and 2 post nights in Lisbon, 21 nights in Algarve at the Luna Solo Koala. In a studio equipped with a kitchenette. You got a representative to assist you there. Optional excursions you can do. If you've got points and everything, you want to use air, we can. The land starts at only $1,800.
I like that one. I like that one better than the golf one because I'm not much of a golf person. But that one looks good, especially with the representative to help you guide
locally,
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, you're away from the snow,
which is priceless.
And we always like to remind you that online pricing is almost identical to what any agent can find you. Like all those Black Friday deals we had a while ago, the ones we talk about here, the ones that you see on the TV. But can we assist you before and help with some suggestions? We can also assist you during, if necessary, after your trip. If you've never used a real life travel agent, try one out.
And if people want to talk,
it's free.
Yeah, if people want to talk to you personally, what is that number for that free call?
In Calgary, you call us at 403-241-7140, and outside Calgary, you call us toll-free, 1-877-511-5111. Then you, too, can relax. It's all taken care of.
Indeed, sir.
Have a great week, everyone.
And that is our show for this week. If you have comments or questions, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a show idea, send that along as well. My email is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you like what you heard, tell a friend. You can check out our website, too, at theinformedtraveler.org. In the meantime, thanks for listening, travel safe, and be an informed traveler.